why go through a process that doesn't include 1464 and then at the end of it release an outcome that includes the outcome of 1464? Why not simply go through 1464 as well before you then have the outcome of 1464? By the way, I'm using numbers, but I'm simply saying, Chief Justice removal is under 1462, I believe. Five, forgive me. Right? So you've done 1465 and you've removed her as Chief Justice. You have not done 1464, but you have removed her as Supreme Court judge. Why? 1464 exists. So go through that to remove her as Supreme Court judge.
Okay. No, I would not, because the 1464 and 5 are many. Let me just be sure that when we said 5, that was it. Yeah. You see, let's do this, Kojo. The simple matter is this: the Supreme Court has held. Okay, so 1466 is a Chief Justice.
1466.
Yes,
thank you.
Exactly. So 5 is the recommendation for the removal of a Superior Court judge.
Right.
Look, it's simple. The Supreme Court has held, in 2 cases, and you even 3 because you mentioned the Aban case. In the J2 and then in Justice Tokonu's own case, they say it's a consolidated process. It's 2. It's a consolidated process of removal as a Supreme Court judge and removal as a Chief Justice. Let me read a short dictum by Justice Tanko in the recent one. So if that is the case, I'm wondering why they didn't take issue with the ruling of the Supreme Court when it was given. Because Justice Tanko was very clear, Amadou Tanko, was very clear that, look, this process involves the removal of the Chief Justice as Chief Justice and also as a Supreme Court judge. That's why, let me just go straight to it. It says this: I have arrived at the conclusion that this application must fail without relish, mindful of the fact that the applicant, the Honorable Lady Chief Justice of the Republic, is going through a process that may define her career on the bench as Chief Justice and as a judge. Chief Justice and as a judge is 2. Then we go to the one you read earlier, Pega. Then there is a J-Chum. I've been scrolling since I came. I wanted to get the page in a J-Chum. A J-Chum, a J-Chum case, that's Dateba. He gave the the lead opinion of the Supreme Court, and Justice Ofekufu and the rest concurred. Of course, Justice Ofekufu later on wrote a small opinion where she stated her misgivings about the nebulous nature of stated misbehavior, asking that there should be more flesh and also in terms of the procedure, more flesh. But generally, she concurred with Justice Dateba. So it's been very, known to us in the legal community that it's a dual process, 2 in 1.
That first reference you made, and the quote that you read, I note that, and I'm just trying to be fair here, I note that he says that the procedures that they are going through may affect Justice Tokonu's career as a Chief Justice and as a judge. I don't know that we are being fair if we say that means may remove her as a Chief Justice and as a judge.
Oh, that's the meaning.
Because you can affect her career as a Chief Justice in one way and affect her career as a judge in another way.
I get it. The devil's advocate.
It's only fair to point that out, right?
Why not? But for us as practitioners, it's not a question that really excises our mind that much. You see how Blessed took it, and you yourself, you earlier referred to it. It will be incongruent to say that those facts that have been proven against her relate to her office only as Chief Justice. Those same facts, let's go over this. We lost over 300,000 in terms of per diem and tickets, right? And somebody is saying that these are trivial. This cannot meet the threshold of failing to keep the public purse, and so the Chief Justice cannot be removed in the dual capacity. We are joking. Look, Kojo, millions of our citizens don't earn even 100,000 Ghana cedis a year, annual salary. Millions. When this matter came up and we're making the $10,000, even if we took it today, even since this government came at a point we're at 10.5, right?
Yeah.
Even if you call it the lowest 105,000, I was shocked that some teachers who had been in the classroom for over 15 years said, look, they don't earn up to 100,000 a year. You ask policemen, etc. So millions of our citizens. So those who are saying that these things are trivial, and I see that they've lost touch. They really don't understand the incomes of Ghanaians. These are graduates. People have gone to school, finished university 15 years on, can't earn even 100,000 Ghana cedis a month. And this is money that has been given to a daughter on one trip, not more than 2 weeks. $10,000 per year. Then the spouse also gets 6,000 on another trip, right? No, that's a misapplication of the funds. The public purse wasn't well kept, and the other grounds. So look, they relate to the dual roles. And let me make this clear. Look, the case has been sent to the High Court, right? But if you look at what Justice Tokono is looking for, the High Court can't grant that, because that would be an interpretation of the Constitution. So it means they have to go to the Supreme Court. You heard even Kofi refer to the Supreme Court twice or so, meaning that in Kofi's mind, he thought that the case is in the Supreme Court.
Why do you say it would be an interpretation of the Constitution?
Because of these various statements we've read out. Quotes from the various cases. So it's seen that our judiciary has shown that for them, when the person is being removed as Chief Justice, the person is also being removed as a Justice of the Supreme Court. So to go and ask a junior judge, a High Court judge is senior, okay? High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, they belong to one class. But within that class, the Supreme Court is senior to the High Court. So a High Court judge, in view of such statements, would not. Either the judge will throw out the case, or at best say that, okay, I'm setting down an interpretative issue to go back to the Supreme Court. Yes.
Lawyer Kpebu, don't you feel we're having this challenge because the scope for stated misbehavior is a bit vague? Don't you feel that's where the challenge is coming from?
Oh, you see, yeah, I understand your question in two parts. Right. Yes, the scope of stated misbehavior definitely has not been fully expounded in our law. That one, you are right. Okay, and even so, we take them case by case. It's piecemeal, which is not good, because we need the law to be certain and to guide. So I hope that the new law that Mama Yarga referred to, that they are passing, I hope when it comes out, it will have a very comprehensive meaning of stated misbehavior, right? Yeah, so that one, that's it. But on the facts of this case, I have no doubt whatsoever that this case is a textbook example, classical case of stated misbehavior. No doubt at all whatsoever. This case doesn't give any doubt about the meaning of stated misbehavior. These are very grievous. Abuse of office. Okay, they even sound in crimes. It's just that, you see, we all feel sorry that Justice Tokono has to go through. You know, day one, when the petition came out and I was interviewed, top story, I said that, I remember, was it Evans who asked the question, what would be my advice for Justice Tokono? I said, resign. Because from what I heard, it was an open and shut case. And to be candid with you, we had heard these things before. You know, the audit report that flagged this misapplication of funds, they had been there, by, the previous administration. She's an Ekufuado appointee. Ekufuado, who born dog. Many Ghanaians were even scared. Even talking on radio against Ekufuado, people would see me and say, hey, they will maim you, they will kill you, there's a hang. This are timid nature. We just hope that, we improve with time. So these are facts that people always knew. So the moment I heard those facts in the petition, I said, look, resign. Even though I also reckon that, yes, there are some Supreme Court decisions that say when the process starts, the person. No, but I believe that, look, if early statesmen had stepped in, they could have negotiated an exit. Later on, you heard NDC, they said, well, now he's head of road fund, right? Road Safety Authority. He said that at a point, she came to negotiate an exit, went away and never came back. That would have been it. Look, you can play that first interview. When they asked me, what do you think? Because I knew that this was almost impossible to defend, I said, look, resign. It would have been better, because even if you resign and let's say they went on, we could say so it's a default judgment, I didn't go, right? If history looked at it, say, oh, if she had gone, she probably would have put up a good case. But once you went, cross-examined the persons, and now they've come after the decision, that's it, it's nailed.
You know, it's funny. I'll be bringing back Kofi into this. I'm sure he has